Let's call this meeting to order and stand with me and follow me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Any citizen desiring to be heard? Citizens, no citizens. All right, item number 4, consideration possible action on approving minutes of September 15 and 28, 2016.
So moved.
Second. Aye. Any opposed? Nay. All right. Motion passes. And item number 5, consideration possible action on approving fiscal year 15-16 financial statement and fiscal year 16-17 estimate of needs.
Chairman, before we get to the signing, I was on to ask that we wait a couple days so we'd have a chance to review this. And in doing so, our county clerk provided me with, I think, all of us the information on this cover sheet, right? So what I've read here, the information from Cheryl Wilson from the auditor's office, she referenced Title 68, Section 3003 as their basis for being able to change this. That section doesn't really talk a whole lot about the state auditor and inspector. As a matter of fact, it doesn't talk about them at all, except in that one little spot where it says all forms and procedures necessary for the effective operation of this act shall be prescribed by the office of the state auditor and inspector, which means that they got responsibility for all the forms. No worries there. So she sent a copy of the form that needed to be filled out, or the cover sheet for signatures. I find it interesting that this signature sheet that was sent out by the auditors and doesn't reflect what we've got in our in our budget here. First of all, it's this one that came from the auditor says 2 copies of this statement of needs should be filed with the county clerk not later than August 17th for all counties, which is the statutory requirement for county budgets. That is not on our budget sheet that we've signed here. So I don't have a problem signing off on these sheets as long as they are changed to reflect what the state auditor and inspectors required us to change to. These ones in our budget appear to have been somewhat modified from what the auditor and inspector sent out. The other point is that this signature sheet here, after the commissioner sign, says budget board, which entirely makes sense to me that if you have a budget board county, which we are not one of, that all of the officers involved in that would also sign the budget as well. So I'm kind of the opinion that in a non-budget board county, the other officers would not be required to sign. I'm sure they could sign if they want to, but wouldn't be required to sign because we don't have a budget board here. And that's just my opinion on that. Yes, ma'am. You took a deep breath.
Well, the
something.
book has 2 different. We have the first cover sheet that does not identify the budget board. That's just the cover sheet. The second one is the form letter to the county excise board and the state that does say budget board. I think that page is intended just to be for the commissioners to sign.
Neither one of these pages that's in our budget that was given to us to look at to sign is reflected. None of them look like this, is all I'm saying.
Okay.
This is what was sent by the auditors, and I recommend that we change to what the auditors say we should be doing.
If you'll pass that down, I'll make some copies and I will switch. These books are how they were delivered to me.
Is this not just a recommendation from the auditor?
Well, so again, the statute that they quoted, here's the email that came. The statute that they quoted is Title 68, Section 3003. Jim and I have had some discussions about this section. This section basically talks about the difference between ad valorem taxes and reoccurring revenues and that sort of stuff. And then it goes on to talk about funds received by county, cities, and towns, and it talks about how the budgets will be receipted and dispersed and all that stuff. And it talks about the monies. It doesn't talk about the budget, the budgeting or the excise boards. But again, what they quote is this: they've got this one little line in here that talks about all forms, procedures necessary for the effective operation of this act shall be prescribed by the Office of State Auditor Inspector. I have no issue with that. As a matter of fact, that is their requirement. However, procedures, they didn't really outline the procedure well enough to me to understand the differentiation between budget board and non-budget board counties as it relates to that signature page. They just said, effective September, we want you to have that signature page on there, which I find kind of interesting because the first thing it says here is that it's due back in August 17th. And then they come back and say, okay, effective 1 September, we want your papers that were due back in August to have the signature page on it. So it seems to me a little bit contrived. But if that's what they want, if this is the form they want us to use, then this is the form we should probably use. Again, I don't think the other county officers would be required to sign it, but if they wanted to, there's no reason
When I made
why.
the call to Cheryl,
Right.
after all of this, and I mean, that's what she indicated as well, that yeah, they wanted all the officers to sign, so I'm just relaying the information that I've been given.
And I'm just trying to get smarter on why they want us to do this in a non-budget board county, because it's the responsibility of the Board of Commissioners to come up with the budget. The responsibility of the excise board to approve that budget.
I understand. I'm just relaying what I've been
Yes,
told.
I move we approve.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Slide that back here and I'll put my
Just
Johnson.
that one sheet.
If you'll sign the multiple copies so that I'll have them for each of the books.
Is this like signing a blank check?
It is.
Pretty much.
And this is the publication sheet that also needs signed.
If y'all like to come up, y'all more welcome to sign them, or I don't guess you have to either, but.
Yeah,
I'll even loan you a pen.
Thanks. For about 15 minutes.
Hey Tish, I appreciate you going over and
It'll be each of these.
presenting all that
There's
to the
several.
person
Well,
that was there.
I'm just glad I knew about it.
Yeah. Yeah, you was,
I didn't know it till the night of or something.
yeah, you did it before I did.
Oh, I did? Hi.
So, Troy, can we get our budget guy, if he's the one that bound these for us?
They came bound, yes.
Yep. Can we get him to get a couple of copies? I mean, I'd like to have a bound copy.
I'll make my own copies for you. I have a
Right.
binder. I'm assuming you mean after it's completed, the
Right.
excise has signed it
Can
and
y'all come around to
everything?
the
Okay.
camera and
Oh,
introduce
one other
yourselves?
thing I wanted to point out on this second page here.
You're kidding, right?
excluded the sheriff.
Which also necessitated part of the thing, oh, I guess I need to be, I'm sorry, guys. This second page also needs signed by the board.
Again, if you wanted all the county officers on the second page, the sheriff is not on that second
Right,
page.
which Cheryl said evidently was just discovered. It's been that way for many years. No one ever picked up on it.
We have multiples that we'd like to do.
Yeah, again,
Would that be
just
good?
the budget boards, right.
I'll call you in just a minute.
Okay,
Are we done?
are we done?
Do we have-
That's up to you all. I mean, they've taken action on the
That's all you
budget
need,
part,
Cheryl,
so.
just give me a little bit, I got a couple more things.
Okay.
Yeah, we had a couple of contracts.
We just need this front sheet.
Not in those, where I'm gonna switch them out.
Because we're switching.
Yeah, I have a binding machine, so I'll switch them out and before I file them.
Good.
And just so you all will know, the next possible publication date that I can do is Tuesday. So this won't publish till then.
Good enough. Are we there? Item number 6, consideration and possible action on approving amendment to operating agreement for fiscal year 16-17 with Aramark Correctional Services for inmate leaders.
Aramark really drug their feet getting the fiscal year renewal to us.
I thought we did, but
I don't remember.
I made the motion, you seconded.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So
Thought
this
we
is
did,
already
but I
done
couldn't
deal?
swear to it either.
Well, I mean,
Okay.
the sheriff's office can answer for you.
They got a new district manager for our area, and it took him a while to get the old guy's information forwarded over, our old contracts, so we could do a rate increase. It was minimal, few cents a meal.
So Aramark provides the,
Meals and
The meals.
commissary.
right, okay. Just a comment or observation, some of the county jails and some in Oklahoma work with some of the school districts on the meals that are done for schools and through that contracting and are able sometimes to get a little better price.
And this is what Aramark does too. They
Yeah.
do the schools too,
Do they?
and hospitals.
Mhm.
So,
Are they ones that do the Guthrie schools as well?
I don't know if they do Guthrie, but I know they do a lot of the major schools in Oklahoma City and
Okay.
different parts of the state too.
Yeah, I know they're a big company, it's just sometimes big doesn't always mean the best price.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
I'll move. Item
We have no vote.
I'll move.
Second.
Approve.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Item 7, consideration possible action on approving resolution accepting donation of 22 Panasonic Toughbook laptop computers from the city of Edmond to the sheriff's office.
I have one of those are good machines.
Very generous of them.
What year are those, Jim?
I think they're 2011 or 2012.
Yeah.
They're all in really good shape. They're like $3,000, $4,000 computers.
Yeah, we use them in the military.
Yeah, they're good, but they're good. They're dummy proof, cop proof.
What do you reckon one costs, just out of curiosity?
If we had to replace, if you had to go out and buy one, you're looking at $3,500 at
Yeah.
a minimum.
Mm-hmm. Depending on how it's arranged.
They go up
Can
to
be-
$5,000.
Yeah.
I thought about getting one.
That's pretty good of them.
You can drop one off the back of them and it'll still keep working. But you can't run over it with the back of them.
Yeah, everybody says you can run over things, but I haven't seen anything.
Let's not
work
put
yet.
any ideas in anyone's head out
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
No, I think you could drop it, but I wouldn't.
They've been
go
dropped,
over
but
it.
you wouldn't want to run over it.
Well, that's good of them to donate 22 of them to you.
Yeah, they got brand new ones.
I'll move that we accept.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Item number 8, consideration possible action on approving resolution and authorizing,
If I may interject,
yes,
I know that they're here for another item. If you all want to wait till we get to
I
it,
actually
or
have something pressing.
I thought you were having an appointment, I heard you say. If the board would not mind going to
Oh.
item 13.
All right, item 13, consideration possible action on approving resolution approving signatories for sheriff's inmate trust account.
To clarify for the board, we did this resolution, and it was only after it was all done that Amanda caught there was an error in the names from the first paragraph to the second paragraph, so we're redoing to correct the names of the signatories.
Good job, Amanda.
The bank caught it. They were like, the paragraphs don't match.
You could have said you got it. You didn't
No,
have to.
You blew it.
I'm doing 1,000 things. I'll give that one to the bank. They,
You blew it.
yeah.
All
Hey,
right.
when it's me, I'll take credit for it.
I move we approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you, board.
You bet.
Thank
guys
you.
Have a good one.
Thank you.
Appreciate everything you do.
Thank you guys.
All right, now we're at item 8. Consideration of possible action on approving resolution authorizing application for refund for resurfacing Cooksey Road between MacArthur and Meridian in District Number 3.
You got them, Troy? I got them too.
Well, it probably wouldn't hurt to have 2 originals, so go ahead and sign both of them.
I'll make a motion for you if you want.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
You're gonna bring that down south, Meridian down into, across the river,
I
right?
got a pipe there.
You'd be wonderful.
It would.
Item number 9, consideration possible action on approving resolution authorizing application for refund for resurfacing Rockwell between County Road 71 and 73 in District Number 3. 2 miles? Please.
I move we approve.
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you.
Now, item number 10, consideration possible action on approving resolution authorizing application for refund for resurfacing County Road 76 between Meridian and MacArthur in District Number 3.
I will move we approve. How many of these you planning on getting, that you think is gonna get approved for you? I mean, you always ask for more. I mean, I know how this works.
You can turn in 4 applications, but
You only get one,
You only
right?
get one.
That's what I thought.
That's right. And that would be the one that would qualify and be your primary.
I move we approve item 10.
I'll
Second.
Okay, second. I'll let him. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Item number 11, consideration possible action on approving resolution authorizing for refund for resurfacing County Road 72 between Coltrane and State Highway 77 and Coltrane north of County Road 72 in District Number 3.
Again, I move we approve.
Well, I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
thank you.
I don't know if I'm gonna do one this year or not, because I got 10 points behind me, and we missed out on that training. That's 2 points. I don't think they have anything that would qualify.
I had 2 at training that helped.
Yep.
It might help me.
Might,
I don't know how they do that.
but 2 points is probably not gonna be
Yeah, that's not make or break.
competing against you, not on yours. You didn't get one this last year, did you?
I did.
Oh, well, then you got a 10 points penalty on you as well. All right.
Can't get it if you don't ask, though.
But that's the point. That's a very good point. Item 12, consideration possible action on approving resolution accepting a $604.80 donation from Robert and Kathy Robbins to District Number 2 for a culvert at 5337 South Pine. And that is one of my constituents, and they buying the horn.
I'll move we approve.
I'll second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Item 14, consideration possible action on approving resolution establishing 2017 employee insurance benefit at $600 per month.
Ow. I'll move.
I'll second. All
Move
those
those again.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Item number 15, consideration possible action approving ODOT claim for Coates Field Service in the amount of $750 for right-of-way services for Skelton Creek Bridge, job number 04 in the hole, in district number 3.
Okay, because this is an assignment, I've got 3 different spots, but Mike, you as chairman will need to sign these 2,
Okay.
and just the board signs the one off to the side here.
Gotcha.
Do we need these as well? or
It
you got-
probably wouldn't hurt. I mean, if they're there, it's not gonna hurt
Better
anything.
flag it for Mike then.
No, I'll give you.
And here's the, did you get the invoice?
Yeah, well, this is the original, that's fine. I didn't do it, it came to me that way.
It just looks like we need 2 more approvals after I sign for another $750.
Yeah. I don't know
Yeah,
what
that's just the way their form is. I guess because maybe like cities have more than 3 members.
I'm just wondering why the money, why this is printed on each one of these.
I'm assuming the Excel sheet, whoever set it up, drug that, and it just,
I think we all 3 gotta pay $750. That's what you're saying.
I thought that's how much we were getting.
It says for $750 against Oklahoma Department of Transportation. I'm against anything that, never mind.
All right. Item 16, consideration possible action.
we did not have action on that.
We didn't?
I make the motion we approve.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Item 16, consideration possible action on approving ODOT claim for Coates Field Service, Inc. in the amount of $4,500 for right-of-way services for Luther Road project, job project 06 in the hole in district number 2.
I'm against this one.
Make the motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Just one for this.
Yeah, that's all I
All right, item number 17, consideration of possible action on approving lease purchase agreement with Cooper Creek Manufacturing being assigned to Welch State Bank for 2016 International Pumper Tanker Truck for Center Fire Department. Oh, and it is a sweet one.
How much is that for?
The total lease is $149,698.08. This was a bid that was done. It's taken us about a year to get this truck. And they finally got it approved. There was some pump problems, and anyway, they received it, they're happy with it, and now the bank would like us to sign the lease and take care of
They
that.
want paid now.
So, I have a lot of flags here. However, only this big red one is for the board. All the rest of them are for the chairman.
No, thanks.
All right. Gee. You sure they have enough flags in here, enough signatures for me?
Oh, and that's not even all of them, because I have spots to sign, and I gotta run it to Stillwater this afternoon for Logan signs.
Oh, boy. Love it.
What's taking so long, man?
You know, she just got me over here slaving away. What can I tell you? Trials and tribulations.
Well, do y'all get any idea where our new CED headquarters is gonna be?
Yep.
Where's it at?
Well, didn't they voted on it at our last meeting, right? It's gonna be up at, where the new, ACOG.
Do you know the address?
I do, but not off the top of my head. I can
It's
get
the
it.
old Langston University College on Lincoln. I can't tell you exactly what that address is either.
here?
Yes,
They did vote no.
yes, well, actually.
They voted yes, I voted no.
Yep.
So they didn't vote, they didn't even acknowledge that it was like, oh, you want us to go up there? No, we don't want to do that. We want to go over here, so we're going to vote on going over here instead and paying, what is it, $7,000 more a year or something like that, 6 or 7. Yeah. Monty represented as well. And Cleveland County also voted no. Oklahoma County abstained because they're the ones that are getting the money from the lease, so it's a conflict of interest. 3 other counties voted yes, so there was 2 no's, 1 abstention, and 2 yes votes, which carried it over. Which will be interesting to see how this all works out here in another year or so.
And one county pulled out of CED 5, Murray County pulled out.
Murray County?
There's liable to be some more.
Are they joining another one, or?
Yeah.
So they're staying within the realm of a CED, it's just a different district.
Right.
I don't know, you know who they went to?
I do not. Well, I
Maybe they went
heard,
down there where they can pay dues to that one.
I heard Canadian counties looking to move,
No, now?
yeah. And
What's the reasoning for that, behind that?
behind what?
Murray County moving?
They probably got tired of the BS, be my
I think
guess.
it was.
I mean, because
division.
the funds should be the same, right? I mean, so
No,
I'm thinking.
No, not really,
No?
no. It depends on how much a CED does, right? So, or the funding's not the same. They can actually take more of the CED, the CERB money, can actually get used more of it in other CEDs. Was it 8 up here? They got a sign shop. There's one down south at Altus. I don't remember which one that is, 6 or 7. They've got an asphalt plant that's going bankrupt.
Well, yeah,
But
I've
all of
not
that-
heard good things about
Right,
that.
and all of that fiduciarily ties the county.
It takes your road money.
Well, yeah, well, and it takes, and if they go in the hole, then the county's got to cough up the extra cash.
And that's their situation there.
So my whole problem with the CED district, like take CED 7, I mean, it's a big time operation, but they're taking taxpayers' money. They're building asphalt plants, I mean, you're in competition with the private sector
Right.
with taxpayers' money. I just think that's wrong.
It is wrong.
Kind of like the city operating a snack bar out at the lake.
And I think they may.
Okay, so it is statutorily allowed for the CERB funds to go to that?
I think that changed.
Well-
They're gonna allow that.
Well,
And it was a little
well,
shady then.
What the statute says, and they take advantage of this, what the statute actually says is that a county may and it says may, joined with another to form a CED for the mutual benefit of those counties. So that's where, that's the kind of the general welfare clause in the federal, so that's where they kind of get that. They kind of expand that to the mutual benefit of the county. So if we decided, let's say Cleveland County and us decided to have our own little CED, and we thought the mutual benefit of our county would be to have our own paving operation, then we could legally do that. Now morally, is it correct? Is it good? No, probably not, but we could.
I'm just curious because the funds that flow to serve are designated road improvement monies.
Mhm.
And designated accounts generally have strings as to how and what,
Right.
you know, they're available to be spent. I'm just having a really difficult time wrapping my brain around the legality of building an asphalt plant with CERB money.
So,
I'm just,
so
I think a lot
the,
of-
challenge that you have is much like a lot of my other Liberty Republican people have, right? Just because something's legal doesn't necessarily make it moral.
oh, I
There's
agree,
a lot of
there's
things-
several of those.
There's a lot of things people do that are technically legal,
Mhm.
but, you know, stink to high heaven.
No, I think that one did super.
Has anyone ever seen any numbers to see if there has been a fiscal advantage to doing this? I mean, has anyone looked at the cost of the operation and the extra employees and all of that
I think there's several that have looked
versus
at.
going
because
and buying from Haskell or Atlas?
There's
Yeah.
a CED that's in debt now, up to their eyeballs, and they can't
The
pay
one
their
that did the
bills.
asphalt.
Dude,
So
that's,
now the counties is paying
10-5.
dues to make the payments.
Yeah,
Right.
a lot of
CED
dues.
district.
yeah. Yeah, it's a mess.
It went upside down.
I don't understand how that was allowed to happen.
Well,
Lobbyists.
No, I'm very serious. I don't understand how that was allowed to happen. But anyway.
Yeah.
See, so our CD is not as bad as it could be.
You're right.
Actually, ours is one of the better ones.
But I also, here's the thing though, I think this is another prime example to be added into what's being worked on
right.
as to the benefit of sending the money straight to the county with parameters
Oh,
and strings and
that's-
reports.
We've
Wait a
got,
minute, let's push on it.
we're gonna put that forward. But I tell you what, the people at ACO, the leaders at ACO, the people that are elected to those leadership positions will not support that. Won't support the CERB money going directly to the
A
county.
lot of jobs.
It's because, yeah, they got their fingers in the middle of that pie right now, and they are not going to relinquish that control
But here's what I also think.
without a fight.
I think things such as this disaster with the asphalt plant,
Mhm.
some other things, some lack of paper trails for funds and things like that. It may not happen this year, but the more that that's put out there, the
Oh, I
more
agree.
that it's out, I think it will
I think the biggest thing
come to pass.
is the waste involved when you get any kind of large bureaucracy involved in a program like CERB. I mean, Mike can attest to this.
Oh, sure.
I mean, when the state comes in and says, okay, that road, you gotta buy more right of way and this because
Absolutely.
your traffic count is now 1,100 cars per day instead of 500 cars per day. And all these people want is not to drive on potholes. Basically, at the end of the day, what we really need to do is to put an overlay on there and fix the
Oh, I
road.
agree, I agree. And I don't build roads, but I can see that.
Because of these people that have all these good ideas that, you know, we're gonna make sure that the counties plan 25 years out, right?
The
So-
road's not good in 25 years anyway.
Right, exactly.
That's right.
And so in 25 years, we may not even be driving cars. I mean, who knows? But still, to say you got to build that road to last 25 years, and to do that, you need to get more right of way, and you need to have a 4-lane highway instead of a 2-lane highway. It just
Someone
I totally
explain,
went through
okay,
the cost.
so, and I realize that we're, veering off, but I do have a question. Since when do we drive on the right of way? So how can they equate the
Well-
length of 25 years this road's gotta hold up for 25 years, so we need more right-of-way? We don't drive on the right-of-way.
Well, that's so they can expand the road as needed. They've already got the right of way, they don't have to do it again.
It has to do with safety and drainage.
The CED meeting that we had here about Oklahoma County.
Yes, sir.
You as president.
Yes,
You
sir.
remember the comment I told you that, or told them, that the CEDs is set up for a retirement home for?
For
Yes, he
ODOT
did.
ODOT engineers?
Former ODOT engineers, Monty threw it out there.
I like it.
Oh, it's just the truth.
Was there any of those former ODOT
We got
engineers?
Sean there, who else?
There wasn't none in the room here, but.
I've never seen a CD meeting of any kind, so that was my first little taste of taking in some things, which I found really pretty interesting.
Rest my case.
I think it was interesting that Monty also threw out, once again, give us the money and let us do our jobs.
Yeah, I think
And the engineer that was present as an ODOT employee threw out, well, then you wouldn't have us to help in our expertise and our services. What's interesting with that is I have had several in-depth conversations with one of our state legislators for our area about doing away with CED and sending serve straight here. How I truly believe it can work and be structured similar to how we chose to operate our CBRI, and it has been successful. And the response I got from that person was that they would be in favor and taking it a step farther, since ODOT still exists and these people are still there, they could be utilized by us as adversaries and consultants and things like that. It would not exclude
That's
them.
already in the statute.
Exactly.
The statute already says that.
And so,
If we don't have our own engineers, then
exactly,
ODOT is on the hook to
exactly.
help
But
us.
the response that was made that day was different, so.
I think it's
yeah.
better.
It's, like, that was my first taste of being present at a small scene.
Kind of like your first shot of castor oil.
Well, and everything I hear at the CED meetings we do have is that
Supposed to be good
everybody's
for you.
on board about it getting distributed straight to counties.
Now, I will say, when Monty said that,
It is until
the
until
other
you bring
two
it up.
commissioners that were
Yeah.
part of that committee that were present agreed.
Mhm.
Oklahoma County was on board.
Oklahoma County and Payne both said
I'm
yes.
not sure Payne County's on board.
And that may be, but Oklahoma County did as well.
The fellow, Zach, he's a nice guy, but he wants to be the chairman of ACA or whatever.
Thank you.
It's a heck of a mess. But anyway, we ought to get to the agenda. I can go on about this all week.
Well, we could.
Can we have a possible action on those leases, please?
I'm against
Leases.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Wasn't that right away for coats that we were talking about, 16?
We took action on 15 and 16, which were both codes.
Okay.
This is lease on the
And
fire.
And now
the
we're-
Oh,
fire
yeah,
truck
we
lease.
were talking about the term.
So that was
Second.
the vote for the
leases.
leases. So
Item 18, the treasurer has brought me the form, and I have it here, but when I was going over to cancel these still dated, her and I aren't lined up. So I'm gonna ask the board to not take action on item 18, and I will bring it back to you as soon as I get some questions answered with Sherry.
no action. All right.
I'm parked in front of the door, see you over there.
Bye. Item 19, consideration possible action on approving detention transportation claim in the amount of $1,200.88 for July 16.
I'll make a motion to approve.
What you look at.
That's we were covering this?
Yes.
I will second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Item 20, consideration possible approving of detention transportation claim in the amount of $860.62 for August of 2016.
Yeah.
Move their approval.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Item 21, consideration possible action on approving following temporary road crossing permits for Select Energy Services.
I'm kinda,
Waterline.
on the fence on this. I've had some problems, but I think we got them ironed out. I hate to do it, but I'll move that we approve.
This in your area?
Yes.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Just so the board knows, if they don't follow the rules, I plan on
Shutting them down.
doing everything that we can in our powers to make them follow the rules.
While that's being signed, this is not an actionable item for today, it just came to me yesterday, and I have my thought on it, but I want, like to put it out here. Cox Communications called me yesterday. You know, they are exempt from paying the crossing permit fees. The reason that they called is they are no longer going to do that work their own. They are going to sub it out, so a contractor will be filing the permit to do this work.
That's a good idea.
My question became, where does that leave with the permit fee? Because I don't know. Cox is exempt as a public utility, just like OG&E, ONG, they don't. They've never paid the fee. But if they sub it to a contractor, it's still putting in a Cox line.
They still wouldn't
So,
be.
but we need to
required
have
pay
them
it.
identify that on the permit so we know.
Yeah. That it's.
That's the
That it's
direction
for
my
the
mind
public,
went.
that it's for the public utility.
That's exactly
Yeah.
where my mind went.
Yeah.
But I did tell her that I would verify and get back with her.
Well, let me ask you this, okay, seems how you brought that up. I called in a locate. This little company that flags for AT&T, they called me up and said, well, we can't flag it until you clean up the right of way. So I told him, I said, well, the reason I called in a locate is so I can clean up the right of way. So anyway, he says, well, we need to meet you out there. I said, what for? I called in a locate, just flag it. Anyway, they won't flag it until I mow it. So anyway, we get it mowed. Now they want to meet us out there. They want to flag it, then they want us to sign documents. I thought, I ain't signing
Sign
anything.
documents for what?
I don't know. He said, well,
Promising you wouldn't hit a line?
he said, well, this is AT&T requirement. I said, I don't work for AT&T, and we ain't signing
I
anything.
don't think.
I mean, you can either flag it, or we'll come out and just do the project. But anyway, there's a fiber optic line in there, and our road crossing permits say that they're supposed to be 4 foot below the lowest point of the road. Correct?
Yes.
I think the issue you're gonna run into there is one you're gonna need to verify with Lowell, because this permit and that version and that wording may not have been in effect at the time that line was put in. So would they be considered a grandfathered?
So
Under-
anytime
because
Is
of
it a
that.
state line or a AT&T line? Fiber.
it's a fiber, I don't know.
Oh.
But anyway, so if the line's in our way, it says in our permits that it's their responsibility to move them. So if I gotta sign off on something, the line's definitely gonna be in my way and they need to move the line.
If I would suggest getting a copy of whatever they want to sign, tell them you'll run it to legal counsel, and once it's looked at, and determine whether or not you should sign it.
Where is the line, Monty?
County Road 75 and Post. Going south, north, south.
I mean, if we hit a line, AT&T is pretty darn quick at filing a claim for it. So I
That's
can't
gonna
imagine
have
what
to
they
go
want
on.
you to sign.
That'd have to be going to that cell tower
I
then.
ain't
Cell
getting
tower
one
out
either.
there.
But anyway, that's just, we're not gonna sign the documents. Have y'all ever got into that, calling in a locate? So we can come out and sign off?
I haven't gotten into the sign-off thing.
No,
I've
we
had
just-
them tell me they couldn't locate it because of all of the growth there. You wouldn't be able to see any markings, and terrible hard to get any kind of flags in there.
Well, I think they got boxes set down through there. How can I possibly clean it off without hitting a box?
Yeah, well,
That would definitely clean it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind rolling the box, yeah.
I know. Now, I have a fiber line that's in our way that, it's owned by the state. It was the oldest one they have in the state.
One
Put
net?
in 88, and they are moving that over on I-35, and we'll be abandoning that after cutover next Tuesday.
It's one net fiber. Yeah.
Yeah, one net
Yeah.
fiber. Uh-huh. And they were supposed to have that done last June, but
Commissioners, I don't have anything for items 22 and 23.
Nice.
24.
Consideration of possible action on consent.
And while we're signing this consent stuff,
Right on down.
just to give y'all a little update on, I was getting some quotes on the air conditioning and heating for the hallway in the courthouse.
Yeah.
He said there wasn't enough airflow out of that one unit, so they're gonna look at upgrading that unit. Then also above the door, putting in them deals that blow down when you open the door to keep what we have in the hallway.
That would be nice.
So,
Wow.
he thought he would have us a quote by the end of next week.
These are the transfers. Monty, this is that one for you, so I need you to sign here as well as here. And I'm gonna step out for just a second while you're doing that signing.
Just that one.
I missed.
I had to transfer some money into my capital outlay. I'm buying a little dump truck, 2-ton truck.
Yeah.
Ours kinda went south on us.
So, speaking of equipment, on the paver, who is your expert on that besides you, on running that thing?
Randy Collier.
I know Randy. Pahuska.
Reindeer and Dandy Randy.
Pahuska, long hair.
Yeah. That's why his nickname used to be Roscoe, now it's long hair.
Well, we've got a little housing addition over there by County Line Road, just off of 33. And we need to put a cap on some push-outs we've helped them with. And thought maybe that might be the best way, is just to have it hauled up there and, for us to lay it down.
Sure works. It ain't a problem.
I think Don's run one before, but it's been a year or two back. If,
Well, I tell you, we'd be glad to help y'all get going or do it or whatever.
well, we appreciate that. I'll pass the word along, and we'll see if we can get a little training session going, or however you want to do that.
We're gonna try to get this mile done. If y'all wanna come up and
Another mile,
help us on that, or
Sure.
send some guys over and they can get educated, and then we'll come and help you, whatever you wanna do.
When's this coming down?
Well, it depends on the asphalt when they can deliver it.
So it's ready, but
Yeah, I'd like to do it next week sometime.
yeah, with whatever, once you holler, and I'll send a man or two maybe.
But that machine,
One.
it's really nice.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I know, I've seen you on it before.
A few little tricks to it, but
It's our first time you use it there when you were still just checking it out.
yeah.
But it's a nice machine.
But it's amazing how, you know, you need to watch something, and you get sidetracked. Boy, that's a bad deal.
I need a water truck every once in a while.
If you don't watch it, it turns into a bad deal.
It does. It sure can quick.
Been,
But we use Haskell Lemon, you know, they got the bid on asphalt delivery. And man, I was really like the asphalt and the service. I tell you, they be there at 8 o'clock, about 10 to 8, they're there.
have you used any of those Campbell's asphalt millings, crushed or whatever?
Daily,
Huh?
every day.
So, is it the same stuff they got off of?
To me-
35?
To me, it's a lot better.
Is it?
35,
Yeah, that stuff off 35 is dry and chunky.
yeah,
So this is better?
way better.
It's still like $14.
Actually, it came down, I don't remember what the bid is now.
$13.95, I think.
I think it come down some though.
12 something.
It didn't come
I
down a whole
don't
lot.
remember.
But I tell you,
$13.95, I'm sure. No, $12.95. $12.95.
Might be
12.50.
12. I
12
think it's
something.
12 something, but
Yeah.
well, I know it's a little higher than gravel, but when you put it down, it stays on the road. Traffic don't beat it off.
Yeah.
Right.
It helps knock down the dust.
Yeah, dust is a big
And,
item.
and it seals the road,
It does.
Mm-hmm.
I know
especially if you get a good compaction on it.
it costs a little bit more, but I think it's money well spent.
I do too. It's short haul for us. And for you, there, Marvin.
My trucks can get about 5 loads a day, and if I go to the rock pit, I mean, we get 2 a day.
with it being asphalt, if you put it down in these real heat of the summer, does it also heat on the road and more
Yeah,
meld together
it
and
really
form up a more
compacts.
solid?
compacts real
If,
well.
if you're interested, over here on 33 in Western, that goes out to Pepper's Ranch,
Oh, okay.
we put down 2 miles of that asphalt that we got off of this, and rolled it out with that big old roller we got. That compression, we watered it and compressed it at the same time. It turned into an asphalt road. And
Well,
it-
sitting here listening, and that's what I was thinking with the heat, that it should, meld and
Yes.
become more of a solid surface with
Actually,
an
if you could
asphalt.
spray it with diesel, it would even be
Yeah.
better.
If we could afford to
Or
do it
tax.
that.
It's not a matter of affording it, it's a matter of not going to jail over it.
Well, that's true
Or
too.
tax. Tax is good.
The EPA
yeah.
folks come out
But that'd be like
and
tax
holler
or
about that
tax
kind of
oil.
stuff.
Well, what do they know? They tell us we can't burn brush too.
Yeah, the tackle is not considered an environmental hazard.
No, it's not.
Somehow diesel is.
That brush pile, Marvin, they got it, it's all burned, gone.
Really? You guys are quick.
Yeah, well,
Completely gone.
I think we've had several burns, but good, I'll use some of that then.
That's all we haul now
Is it? You don't even haul gravel anymore?
not unless we have to.
The only thing I'm using gravel for is to patch pushouts on asphalt.
Mhm.
If we got, that old red clay that gets spongy wet,
Oh, yeah. Red
we'll
slick.
dig that out.
We know it so
And
well.
we'll compact gravel down in there to reestablish the road face. That's about all we're using it for now. Of course, everybody still calls and wants gravel put down on the road until you get that asphalt down on there, and then they say, why didn't you do this earlier?
Well, that's the worst thing about the asphalt. You put some down and the neighbors within 10 miles see it.
Well, you did the wrong road.
I mean, I'm just wondering
You
if
did
it
the wrong
works
road,
that
that's all.
well about using that out of the fairground.
Do I?
Yeah. I mean, we'd probably use it for parking, but the roadway, you know, I've been overlaid.
Well, where I'm thinking is where in the area there where you're talking about graveling in front of the fence.
Right. Yeah,
Maybe instead of gravel.
we'd probably use that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that asphalt works, I mean, if you get the potholes squared up, I mean, you can compact that down in there and then overlay on top of that is a
Yeah.
good way to do that, but,
Build a base one.
yeah, you can build a base with it.
Just easier to tell them gravel, because then if you tell them crushed asphalt, then
You gotta explain, yeah, okay, I got you. All right, election board claim,
they just care about the end of the day deal.
Right.
beverage tax.
You're missing out.
And if y'all don't mind me keep on talking while we're signing this,
Oh.
comments, announcements, the other day we met with the city of Guthrie about maybe them donating some, that property down at the, fairgrounds.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they're in favor of it because they've got some utilities in there that they wanna preserve the right to dig up whenever they want to, and, which I understand that.
Well, we could certainly give them a right, I mean,
Easement.
the easement through there for that, yeah.
But anyway, so then we talked about an interlocal agreement, and I told them I couldn't maintain the road because most of that lies with the city, it's not
Right.
mine.
Right.
So they're wanting to do an interlocal agreement, maybe they pay for the material and I do the laboring, and we'll overlay the whole road.
Paving.
Pave it and be done with it.
That'd be smart on their part,
So,
and be serving your citizens.
then we talked about maybe using part of their property for parking, and I don't think they have a problem with that either, is the way I took it. Of course, I think they gotta take it to their board.
I'm sure they do.
And I'd like to have something about water
Yeah.
in there for emergency or building roads, whatever.
Well, it's in a flood zone.
Yeah.
Be nice. You know, after your little food paw.
Did they say anything, or did you talk anything about, that, 4-H debacle that?
You know,
over there?
I put a call in, they haven't returned my call, but
At
It's
the
all-
time, nothing was said with the city until he got more information. I was out there with him, that's the reason I know.
Are we done with the
No, alcohol beverage tax went that way.
I gave it
It
to
did.
him.
I've signed everything.
All right.
He
Here we
did
go.
sign it. I'll
we
move
there?
that we approve.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Item 25, consideration possible action on approving claims.
I didn't wanna get into that too deep until I
Right.
had an official word.
Mm-hmm.
I did try to call him and to see his spin on the story, but he hasn't returned my call.
So I understand that the city owns some property over on the other side of I-35 up north.
Well, I brought that
Well,
up too.
college, 80 acres.
Yeah, so, I mean, I heard you mention about an expo center. That would be a nice place for one.
I did.
Yes, would
I
be
asked-
an ideal someplace for one. I know ODOT's wanting to move their yard there. I
Only
don't know
12
how
acres.
those negotiations are going.
12 acres?
I think, isn't that what Jeff said, 12? Was-
Some-
or
something
maybe it
like
was
that.
25 that ODOT wanted.
Then certainly not
Just a
any
piece
more
of
than
it.
25.
Well, I did mention it
I'd lease it to them, if it's me.
to the city of
$1,000 a
Guthrie
minute.
about the city and the county coming together and maybe to see how the people feel about it, do a bond to build an expo center out on their 80 acres.
Right?
And maybe we can move out of the flood zones down here.
What was the response to that?
The guy I was visiting with thought it was a pretty good idea, and he was gonna mention it to his board, so.
Good.
Just pretty good talk, but it would bring a lot of revenue in.
And we got all those hotels and everything else. I mean, hey,
It's a perfect location.
Wonderful. Wonderful idea.
We'll get
Let's
Chris's comments on it.
We'll get a-
He's
It's
working
like
on
the,
plans.
that rich grandpa, the grandkids are waiting for that money to come in afterwards. That's how the 80 acres, I think, is viewed. That's the future money.
Yeah.
The gold mine.
So that 80 acres has, I think, 10 acres or something that belongs to the water tower. And so at 20, that leaves about 50 acres. 50 acres ought to be more than sufficient.
Yeah, we're
I
going
wish I
back
would've looked now.
What do we have over there?
14,
14.
that belongs to the county, somewhere in there,
Uh-huh.
over here.
So say 20 would be
Damn, we missed it by
sufficient.
261
for-
cents.
Wondering how large the footprint is for
P and
the
K.
Payne County.
They
I
can't
don't
get their stuff
know.
together.
We heard that they're getting ready
Well, they do that to
to
us,
build
too.
new buildings out there.
Yeah,
That
they
they
gave me
are
a-
absolutely
They gave me a quote on
swamped every
fixing my
week.
tractor.
Mhm.
Interesting.
I took it over and had it fixed.
Yeah, they've got their sales tax
Sent me
coming
an
up,
invoice
so
for
that's gonna be
$2,000.
interesting with it no longer
Never
being
seen
long
that.
road.
They took it off.
Never was.
I'm sure the expo will pass.
No, it's not.
But not only is it not seem right, I ain't paying it.
Got commercials to pay for.
He said, well, we had to do some other stuff we didn't know. And I said, well, I mean, the only thing I gotta do is pick the phone up and call me.
Right.
He took it off, so
Action for claims.
I'll move.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Motion carries. Any citizens desiring to be heard?
Tell us something, Chris.
I know nothing.
It's not what
We
I
already
heard.
had comments, announcements, questions,
there any
anything
more?
else?
Man, I talked about everything I could think of.
Yeah.
Y'all got any comments on Expo Center? I'd like to see 80 show.
I'd like to see it.
I mean,
I think it'd be a boon.
I think a nice facility would benefit the county if we can afford it, and if we can get the people to pass bond. I mean, the people in Logan County have a bit of an affinity against passing bond issues, no matter what it's for. But if we could get that passed, then I would be in favor of it.
Sure. Well,
Be the perfect location for it.
that, and now we can get a sewer line over there, so.
I
That's
really
a
think that if
good
the city
thing.
and county can work together, I think it could be a good deal for the community.
I do too. I do too.
See what the city thinks. and
There you go.
Maybe we can move forward on something. See what the people think.
All right, item 28.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.